Compared with my first Sennelier watercolor swatching video, this one is far more comprehensive and informative. This video not only contains 10 additional colors for a total of 28 colors for your swatching pleasure, it'll also allow you to see each color referenced beside the other and to really observe how each flows as compared to its neighbor. And I'll be demonstrating some layering later in the video. Speaking of layering, I decided to do a portrait of fruit this time rather than human beings. I thought it would be the clearest way to demonstrate the uniquely magical aspect of Sennelier paints. These things are fairy dust. Like, what's even in them? Well, I know what's in them. And we'll talk about that too. I was looking for a way to illustrate, pardon the pun, that which I've learned in the last 2 months of painting with these Sennelier watercolors every single day. That's what I'm going to show you today. Starting off, our first two yellows are lemon yellow, PY3, very good light fast rating, and transparent, with our second being yellow Sophie, semi-transparent, PY93, very good light fast rating. The yellow Sophie is a bit warmer than the lemon yellow and a bit less electric in nature. Now our third yellow is Naples Yellow Deep. This is an opaque yellow and often considered to be almost a neutral by artists, myself included. PBR 24 is the pigment and it has a very good light fast rating. This one is buildable, though very slowly such, and I often mix it in with a color that's coming up later in the swatches. Number 4 yellow is Sennelier yellow. If this were a drinking game, I'd say drink every time I said yellow and you'd be in the hospital by now. Anyhow, Sennelier yellow is a semi-transparent pigment PY 153 and it has very good tinting strength. It is also a staining color. Number 5 yellow is Yellow Lake, a fully transparent color, PY 150, and it also has a very good light fast rating. This one is similar to a nickel azo yellow. It is extremely glowy. It's a much warmer version of lemon yellow in the sense that it has that almost highlighter-like quality, but it's much richer and deeper in nature. In case you're wondering why it's so important to swatch your colors, it's because it really allows you to get familiar with your paints. And through doing this, it can prevent buying colors that you really don't need in your color repertoire. Moving along, Sennelier Orange. This is PO 73. It has an excellent light fast rating and it's semi-transparent. And believe it or not, this is the very first orange color I've ever owned where I haven't had to mix it. Orange can be a convenience color and that's great, but it's really nice to have a beautiful version of a Sennelier orange. My favorite color of all, number 1 fave, French Vermilion, and that's because I'm a portrait artist and I can use this in every single portrait. PR 242, very good light fast rating. Fully opaque, though thins out extremely well, as you can see, and this one is somewhat staining in nature. A bit of a warmer red, Quinacridone Red, PR 209, a fully transparent color, medium staining, very good light fast rating, and it has a high tinting capacity. Tinting just means it measures how well or how poorly the color is able to affect the outcome hue of any other colors it's mixed with. All right, moving on to bright red. This is our middle red, a cooler red. It is semi-transparent. It is not given a pigment number, and it is very good in terms of light fastness. This one is semi-staining and granulating, as you can see in the swatch. Now, depending upon how often you utilize lifting in your own work, this may or may not be important to you, but you can see that regardless of the fact that this is called semi-staining, the color does lift quite well, leaving behind just a very slight color cast in its wake. All right, next we have PV19 Rose Madder Lake. And this is an excellent light fast rated, fully transparent color, a beautiful, cool pink red. Did you guys know that the word lake actually derives from lacquer? Not lake like I'm going to swim in the lake, but lacquer like nail lacquer. Anyhow, a little bit of trivia. Moving along to Carmine. Carmine is PV19. It has a very good light fast rating and it is fully transparent. This one is a bit of yet an even cooler red, very similar to our Rose Madder Lake. I always say that this color to me looks like meat. I don't know what that means about me. I think mostly it's just a bit deeper and darker of a version of a pink, bit richer. That's just my take on it. You tell me what you think in the comments. All right, alizarin crimson. We know this guy is super fugitive, but keep him out of the light and you'll do pretty well. Now, if we're talking meat colors, this one looks like meat. I don't know what to tell you about that. This is PR209, PY83, and PR179, making up this fully transparent, granulating color. It's unfortunate that it isn't light fast. Absolutely gorgeous. And it's like a reddish, brownish, pinkish. It's got it all. All right, now moving into the next section of color, and that being the blues. This is the section where I have the very least amount of colors, and I plan to remedy this soon. I've already selected about 5 additional blues to try. But this one is Sennelier blue, a fully opaque PB15:3 plus PW4. In other words, it has a white in it. This one is very good light fast, and it allows us to have a more opaque version of phthalo blue. The one that you're seeing me swatch now, phthalo blue. This is the transparent version of Sennelier blue, and it is the same exact PB15:3, just lacking the PW4. Very good light fast rating, a cooler phthalo blue. I suspect the green shade, but it doesn't say. Absolutely beautiful. I love to watch this one kind of be added to and be moved around on the page. It's just a gorgeous, rich, rich blue color. All right, now we have Ultramarine Deep, and I'm super basic in all the ways, including this. I like ultramarine. It doesn't take a lot to make me happy, you know? It's a nice, basic, warm blue, and I am here for it. PB29, very good light, fast rating, and it is fully transparent. This one does take quite a bit to build up, and so far it's most similar with our Naples Yellow Deep in that it really does take quite a lot to get that pigment to show. But once it does, the color is so beautiful and clear. Clarity is what Sennelier is known for, and they are displaying that in spades here. All right, Dioxazine Purple, semi-transparent, PV23, very good light fast rating. This Dioxazine Purple is one that when it is in mass tone, it can appear black. If you're looking for a color that can go very, very dark and also very, very light, this will be your friend. It is semi-staining. You can get it very light and very beautiful. This Dioxazine Purple. All right, Caput Mortuum. This is a completely opaque color, PR101, excellent light fast rating, one of my favorite colors of all time, highly granulating, very deep purplish brown, absolutely beautiful, very rich, very intense, gives you those moody hues. Not to be confused with those moody blues. Nights in white satin, never reaching the end. Letters I've written, never meaning to send. Okay, I'm totally kidding. Look at that lifting. Beautiful. Mwah. Bellissimo. Next, Venetian Red. One of my all-time faves. Still not my all-time fave in this brand's offerings, but it's a very nice color. PR 101, just like our Caput Mortem, shares a lot of similarities. It's just the very reddish version. It's been treated differently, the pigment has, and that's how they get the different colors. But it's identical to Caput Mortem in its nature. Very opaque, very good light fast rating, and just a much warmer version. You can see it does lift quite well. Our next color, I think, looks a fair bit like Venetian Red, though it is far less pigmented, and that's Burnt Sienna, a transparent PBR7, very good light fast rating. And this guy has low staining and low tinting strength. A really beautiful color. When I first got the set, I wasn't very excited about it, but in just making this video now, I found myself really enjoying it, both during the painting of the fruit and also during this swatching session. I don't know, it just, I hadn't had opportunity to use it much until now, and I've really enjoyed it. It's one of the few I haven't used a whole lot until this video, so thanks guys for letting me have the opportunity to use it. All right, we've got Warm Sepia. This one is one of my favorites in the palette, and that's because it can go from such a light, transparent value to one that is very, very deep and dark, almost a black at mass tone. It is PBR 7, as was Burnt Sienna. I'm sorry, I know I forgot to say that. And this Warm Sepia, though, also includes PBK7. Very good light fast rating, and it is semi-transparent. Raw Umber, third favorite in the browns. I just seem to love colors that can go completely transparent and then can be built up. They just seem very nuanced or something. Just look at this guy lift. I mean, that's beautiful. Okay, maybe I didn't lift that much, but it does lift quite well. At least it has in my experience. PBR 7, again, because it's a brown, and very good light fast rating. Okay, Warm Gray, Warm Gray. This is the Buff Titanium dupe, and it is different from Buff Titanium. It's not quite as warm, in my opinion. It can come off somewhat cool, especially if you don't layer it much. And it is PW6, PY42, PBK11, and PR101. It is fully opaque and very good light fast rating. And this sucker lifts like there is no tomorrow. Turquoise green. This is cobalt green, actually, and it is completely opaque, PG50, weak tinting strength, excellent light fast rating. And something interesting about this is that it doesn't contain white, but it is made up of cobalt titanium oxide, which the white is almost mixed in with the cobalt before it's not added to the color, it's part of the color. This is just me having taken chemistry over 30 years ago and not getting it. So please educate me in the comments, the rest of us too. And look at how that sucker lifts. We have Phthalo Green now, Phthalo Green Light, PG7, PY153. It is a fully transparent, very good light fast rating color with high tinting strength because it is a phthalo, of course. And this is one of the most fun colors to work with. It's so bright, so vivid. Obviously, you can tell by looking at it. And I've really enjoyed painting with this one and seeing what kind of different mixes I can make with it. Speaking of mixes, I really want my next Sennelier video to include maybe my top 5 mixes, because there are some gorgeous ones I've found from this palette. All right, olive green, fully transparent, PY150, PG36, PBR23, and there is no light fast rating on it. So man, keep it out of the light. Keep it in your sketchbook. You'll be golden. Honestly, I think many of them that have no rating for light fast still are fairly light fast, though you do have to be careful with a lot of the greens. So, of course, this is a convenience color, and I'm sure you can mix it and get to it with a different combination of colors. All right, forest green, semi-transparent, PBK7, PG7, PY42, and a very good light fast rating on this sucker. A gorgeous deep dark color that is almost black in mass tone and is able to be watered out to an extremely light, transparent, semi-granulating version. Just beautiful. One of my faves, though definitely not my top 3. All right, I have lost my numbers. Where did they go? All right, we are now on Payne's Gray. Typically a favorite. I use this a lot in all of my paintings. This is a semi-transparent PV19, PB15:1, PBK7, very good light fast rating. It goes almost black in mass tone and gets watered out to a very, very pale color that is semi-staining. And finally, we have ivory black, an opaque black, PBK9, very good light fast rating, and an excellent mixing color. I know many people say that they don't use black, but I do for mixing on the recommendation of a viewer, of a couple viewers actually. All right, y'all. This next piece of the video is where we're going to talk about the awesome qualities of this paint. So you can see that as you add more layers, just here with the second layer being added to each of the swatches, it dramatically increases the glow and the depth of the color, like no duh, right? That's obvious. But with this Sennelier paint, you can layer and layer without ever getting muddy or looking dull. It's like with each additional layer, as long as you keep them quite thin, like a tea to coffee consistency, let's say coffee. That's basically what I'm adding here, is a coffee consistency to each of these swatches. If you keep them at that thinner consistency and build them up, my suggestion is to build up to at least 3 layers minimum, if not 5 or more. Oftentimes I will layer in as many as 6 to 10 layers. And also for my next Sennelier video, in addition to including some of my favorite mixes that I've been able to achieve with this palette, I also want to include some examples of paintings done by others who use Sennelier watercolor. Quickly, I need to thank my friend Susan of Creative Solutions Art, who very kindly, for my 52nd birthday, which is coming up this Monday, sent me these additional 7 colors. In my first 2 swatching videos, initially I swatched 18 colors, and then I swatched 3 more in this video I'll put in the eye. And then Susan sent me 7 more colors that she panned from tubes that she had at home, which is just like the ultimate artist to artist gift. I felt it was incredibly special and just one of the most amazing gifts I've gotten in such a long time. Susan, thank you. You know I love you, girl. And I think the mistake a lot of people make when they first find this brand is laying down one layer of color and thinking these are really dull, unattractive paints. In this fruit portrait, I'll show you a quick glimpse of what the single layer of color looked like versus the outcome at the end. And I apologize that that's a bit difficult to see, but check it out. I mean, one layer versus 5+ layers. I mean, to me, it's very stark. I suggest to anyone who paints in more than one or two layers max to try these paints. I know they're expensive, but you really don't need a set of 28. You can get away with a very small number of paints just to try, and then you can certainly look for sales. Buy one or two paint tubes or pans per month. $16. Most of us can afford $16 a month for a pan or two of paints that could really change our whole practice and leave us never making muddy paintings ever again. I'm finding I just don't want to use my other paints anymore. Here I am showing you a jar of dirty water. How often have you made an entire painting and had a paint water jar that looked that clear? That was the whole latter half, starting from purple all the way down to black. Notice the clarity of the water that's retained. That's unreal, in my opinion. And it speaks volumes to what this brand is all about. Clarity and highly refined pigments. That's what allows you to get this kind of glowiness that we're seeing on the screen now. Do I recommend these? Heck yeah. One final thing I need to remind you of. I'm not sponsored by Sennelier. No one's paying me to say this. I'm saying it because I like you and I want you to have the best painting experience possible. Not that Sennelier can't hit me up. My email's in the description of my channel. Oh, but seriously, guys, no. Just enjoy the paints. Much love. Now go watch my other swatching videos, would ya? Thank you for being here, and I hope you have an absolutely beautiful day. Bye-bye.